So I think we're live. So let's see. I'm going to just quickly check on the phone, make sure we are. But how you doing, Matt?
Yeah, good. Thank you. How are you, dude?
Good. Thank you for coming on board on this interview. So you're on your first one in my series. So very
Yes.
brilliant. So just for everyone in the group and everyone whoever's going to be watching this, so these are going to be interview series where we're going to bring experts in the group and share their story, and who are going to give loads of tips, tricks, and stuff that you could be doing, and just helping you out. It's more about, we're all going through a really crazy, unusual time in the whole world. So I just wanted to do something that's, going to help you guys. And I'm sure Matt's even the same way. I've seen Matt's been helping a lot in loads of groups and in his group and everything, and sharing like some strategies that I'm even going, oh, that's really good. Actually, I didn't even think of that one. So brilliant stuff. So yeah. Hey, Matt, how's everything doing? Everything going your end?
Well, yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, really. Obviously, everyone shut down, which was a bit of a concern, obviously, for anyone who runs a small business. And I mainly help martial arts instructors. So what I did was started offering help on how to, for people to teach online and how to take their classes that were, stopped and move them onto an online platform. And it's been really good. I've helped a lot of people. And yeah, I'd say 90% of the people I've worked with have now transitioned to purely teaching online for the next couple of weeks. So it's good.
Nice. So I know it's a very unusual time what's happening, but it's forced everyone to realize how important online can be, and like what kind of it can be very lucrative as well, and also gives you time back, which is one of the biggest things that I know we're going to go through your story in a minute, and I know it's going to resonate with so many people in this group. It's just, online is something that everyone just puts on the back burner, but it's such a golden age, isn't it, really? Just people don't realize.
It's the time to take advantage of it, because the technology is there, the internet speed is there, the ways to market all sorted already, all the social media sites and the various SEO tools you can use. It's all there for the taking. You just got to do the work. And I've had so many calls with instructors over the last week where they've gone, I should have spoke to you 2 months ago, 2 years ago. I spoke to you 2 years ago, and I should have done it then. I so regret not doing it. So this is, I think, is the ideal opportunity, because we're all stuck in our homes, and you can start setting up the platforms, start working out your marketing, and start building the courses now, so that when you go back to it, you can launch and then have online courses as another revenue stream as well. So
definitely, people have time now, so there's no excuse.
Yeah,
and that's brilliant. So let's start from the start with you then. How did you, like, this is going to be good for me to know. I know we met 2 years ago. I can't believe it's 2 years, but like, how did you tell a little bit story about yourself? How did you get started? I know you said you had a full-time place for 19 years. Let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll talk about how you transitioned and stuff, basically.
Yeah, well, I started martial arts when I was about 8 years old. As soon as I started, I fell in love with it. Didn't want to do anything else with my life, just wanted to be a martial arts teacher. So I literally did that. Went to university, got my degree, and then started teaching literally the day I left university, started teaching full-time. Opened up a school in a part of Essex called Loughton, which is a well-off part of Essex near London. And that went really well. And it was, it was good days, easy times, lots of students, lots of fun. I was kind of young, free and single at that point, and it was, life was good. And then I got married and had kids, and the whole thing started to crumble. So yeah, the stress of obviously having kids, sleepless nights, the whole teething baby, tiredness, combined with the stress of running the school and training fighters and doing my own training for fights, and dealing with the public, which is, as you know, is hard work, kind of brought me to a point where I was not enjoying my day-to-day work anymore. I was getting stressed out. I was moody, irritable, not loving martial arts like I once did. So I had to kind of I kind of realized if I carried on the way I was going, I was going to burn out and sort of fall out of love with teaching and helping people. So I decided to try and find a different way for me to teach that didn't require me to physically, be there all the time and physically exert a lot of energy and have to spar with fighters and all that sort of stuff. And luckily, online was starting to take off then. I bought a couple of online programs for different instructors, and I was like, oh, cool. Wonder if I can do that. So I started filming content, putting it out there, started building it up. And over a period of years, takes years, it grew to the point where it brought in as much income as my martial arts school. And then I could make the choice. Do I want to stick with the martial arts school, or do I want to take it more online? So after a lot of thought and a lot of like soul searching, I thought, well, I like a new challenge. I'd like to try this, and see if I can make an actual living out of it, just being purely online. And it's grown from there.
So what year was it roughly? Like, I'm not exactly, like, would you say when you kind of started looking into online stuff, really?
Probably 2017, properly. I had a friend who did a course on online sort of marketing, and he said, you should check it out because it'd be good for you to do. It would be another way of making money other than getting beaten up every day. And I was like, yeah. Like everyone, yeah. I'm too busy getting beaten up. I'm too busy running around, too busy fighting fires, too busy changing nappies. But sort of 2017 and 18, I started to pick up the skills, started to learn the stuff, started to, get the basics down, and then it started to grow from there. But to begin with, I was clueless about internet marketing, clueless about emails, about automations, about the software you use, about payment processors, about social media. I literally self-taught myself all of this stuff, which is, it's cool.
I get it. Yeah, it's just a very similar story to mine. Like, but yeah, it's when you find out about this kind of new little world, the internet, even though it's been around for a little while, it's just I get it. You realize there's so much to learn as well. But it's I think one of the things that everyone can take from this is, like you mentioned, it's not a sudden thing. It does take a little bit of time, content, all this kind of stuff, learning it. Was there something particular that you found was useful for you, that you was someone that you was following, or anything that people can maybe get some ideas from?
Yeah, I mean, I did a couple of courses with a UK company called the Internet Business School, who specialize in teaching sort of online marketing. It's run by a guy called Simon Colson, who's made 20 odd million from online stuff. So he knows his stuff, right? So I went on his course and got a diploma in internet marketing. It's a 3-day course where you just get like stuff shoved in your head and you got to figure it out and make it work. But that was really, really good because it gave me like a good solid foundation and grounding in, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how you build a website. This is how you do a landing page. This is how you write copy. This is how you do an email automation. It's all of that basic stuff you need for an online business. I learned that from him. And then on the social media side of that, I would say Gary Vee is a big influence on everyone in the social media world because he's just on it and really, really good at creating content, distributing content, and strategy. So I studied a lot of his stuff, bought some of his bought all of his books, watched a few of his online courses, and just kind of absorbed that social media side of it. And other than that, it's a lot of reading. You can see my book of library, my libraries behind me.
I was looking at that earlier. I was like, wow, you've read a lot.
A couple of 100 books on marketing and business and online. So I just educated myself, read a lot, and then applied. I think application is the key. A lot of people read or a lot of people learn, but not many people apply immediately. So I'm very quick on action. So as soon as I learn something, I'm applying it immediately. Like a friend of mine recommended I try Reddit for putting my content on because it's a great distribution platform. It's full of passionate people. I was sat next to him. I did it there and then. I was on Reddit. I set up my account and posted my first thing like that. And I noticed a lot of people I talk to, I give them a little nugget that's maybe really worthwhile and took me years to work out. I give it to them and they go, cheers. And they don't do anything with it. And you're like, so action, a bias towards imperfect action is a big thing. Like you have to have a bias towards doing stuff that maybe doesn't work out or needs modifying or is not perfect. You don't get the perfect result first time, but you still have a bias to take an action repeatedly.
No, that's very true. I mean, like it's everyone's pretty afraid of like online in a way. I think, okay, so I know paid ads is a different kind of thing, but even though sometimes you have to just go and experiment, which is why I think you've got as far as you have, because you just knew that you had to test stuff out, which is, I think.
Yeah, I think getting expert help is a really good idea. So like, you've helped me with my Facebook ads. Before I came to you, my Facebook ads were doing okay, but I had no real way of tracking it. And I wasn't return on ad spend and conversion metrics. So I was making money, but I couldn't work out, if I put X in, what am I going to get out at the other side? But with your help, like one session with you, loads of money from Facebook. So that was really cool. So I think if you get expert help in a particular area, if you need help with Facebook marketing, come and see you. If you need help with SEO, go and see an SEO specialist. If you need help with copywriting, go and see a copywriter. I made the mistake maybe of self-training myself, and that means I made a lot of mistakes. I wasted a lot of time. I went down a lot of, dead ends and alleys that didn't lead anywhere. So I think the quicker way is to go, what do I need help with? I need help with social media. Right, go and see Swap. What do I need help with? I need SEO. Go and see. So that's faster, but I'm a bit dumb. Slow.
Thank you for the kind words. But I mean, like, basically, like, for creating online stuff the way you do it, I've even seen it. The way you've structured is brilliant. Just makes it so much easier for people. Getting all that stuff together is very, very hard. You can see that you've learned a lot, and you tried and tested a lot of things, and just making sure people get the right kind of stuff and not get sidetracked with chatbots, for example, or this and that, because you don't need all that yet. It's just basically like what you do.
You need basics, don't you? You need, I think, if you're doing what I do, which is selling online courses, you need a product, which is some sort of online course or membership site. You need a place to sell it from, so a platform, whether that be a standalone course platform, and even a Facebook page could be a platform. And you need people to buy your product. If you get those three things all combined, you can start making sales, and then you can get into the other stuff. But if you've got a product, you've got a platform to sell it on, and you've got people, you're making money.
Definitely. So what in your view, what would you say? I know them three are very key things, the ones that you just mentioned, but if someone had to, like, if someone's thinking about or whatever, what would they focus on first, would you say?
This is difficult. I've often thought about this, because if you don't have a product that you can sell digitally, you're still going to be trading your time for money, as in going to teach classes, so it won't make any difference, the other two. If you don't have a platform on which to sell your product, you can't sell it, you can't get it to people, you can't distribute it. And then if you don't have people to buy it, you're not going to make any sales. So it's like an impossible. I've often thought, which one is most important? Now, I've known people to go product first, then platform, then people, and make money. And I've known people go people first, they build an audience, then they create the product, then they put it on a platform, and they've made money that way as well. So I think it's whatever suits you. Some people already out there might have a large social media following, might have an email list, might be selling to a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand students, in which case they've already got the people sorted, they just need the product and the platform. So I think it depends on where you are currently and, what you prefer to start with.
Yeah. No, I know. I know that was a hard question, because
it's a trick question. There's no right answer.
Trick question. But I do agree with you, and I think one of the things. This is just my own opinion, but it's just that I think if people can focus on audience, maybe a little bit ahead, and then the platform and stuff, I think that helps a bit from just because then they get a little bit of feedback, like what the audience wants.
I've often seen that taught by people like Russell Brunson and the like of, first of all, you need to create your audience of people, and then you ask them what they want, and then you create the product that they actually want. That seems like a smart move, because the issue I've had with people I've worked with in the past is they've gone, right, I want to make a product on X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yeah, but does anyone want it? I don't care. It's what I want to do, right? So then they make it. It takes them 6 months. They build it, they plan it, they edit it, they film it, they launch it. And because they haven't built an audience, they don't make any sales. Then they get sad and they don't continue to do online courses. So yeah, you're probably right. Audience first, build your audience, get known to your audience, know, like, and trust, and all those basics. And then get feedback from the audience to see what they want, then build it for them, and then sell it to them. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I mean, like, so if someone's like, people are watching live, which is great. Thank you, guys. And what would you be saying to them? Say someone's actually going, okay, so much stuff going on in the world now. What steps do I take? How do I come across, like, what do I do kind of thing? How would you, I know it's a broad question really, but it's someone's been I know for a fact everyone's been thinking about it for quite a while to do it. They haven't done it. And then now everything's come together. So what kind of tips or something would you say to them to do, or to think how to like structure stuff now?
Well, I think you're right. If you're going to start with an audience, I start building your audience first. So I would have a Facebook page and a Facebook group where you're adding content and you're engaging with people and you're starting to get likes and people commenting and sharing your content, and then reaching out to other groups and other group owners to share your content, and just start building your network of people who like your page and have interacted with your page. So I think that's first steps. Obviously, if you have a student base that's large enough, you can obviously speak to your student base and get them on your email list, etc. So audience building is a good idea. As far as content creation goes, I think just use your smartphone on a tripod. If you've got enough light in your space, just use natural light. If you haven't, get a couple of soft box lighting rigs, which are about 60 quid on Amazon. Place them at about 45 degrees from where you are and just boost the light. If the room you're in is really echoey, get a Rode smartphone mic that can be for Android or Apple. Plug it in, that just improves the audio quality. And start filming, start creating content, start sharing it on your Facebook pages and groups, share it on your YouTube channel, share it with your students, start getting engagement, get feedback, see what people like, see what people don't like, and then you can start planning products off the back of that.
No, definitely great tips there for sure. It's just, I mean, like, would you say for someone that to concentrate on one aspect of their training, if they're doing martial arts, is it to make a curriculum at first, or would you say do little bits, or how would you tell them to do stuff?
If you have enough students, I would create curriculum-based stuff first, because you know they're going to buy it, because students struggle with curriculum and they want to be better prepared for grading. So I was working with an instructor the other day, he's got 10,000 students in his association. So it makes sense for him to create a curriculum product that he can then sell to his students, because he knows they're going to buy it. You make instant sales. But the key is to film your stuff in a way that means it can be repurposed after the event. So rather than film it and particularly brand it to your school, if you make it more neutral, you can take the same content and repackage it later on into a new product, like a beginner's guide to your martial arts style. So repurposing is a good idea, rather than just filming it all fully branded up and speaking about your students and your style. Make it more generic so you can repurpose it afterwards. If you don't have a list already, then it's something different. Ooh, got an alarm there, sorry.
So can you still hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, cool. So no, that's great. I mean, so that's a really good point, actually. Repurposing is a very, very good tip. I think everyone should be doing. I need to be doing this more as well. It's just if someone's not sure what repurposing, I mean, I know you kind of delved into that already a little bit, but how would you describe that to them?
So it's creating content that you can use over and over in different places. So, for example, if I film an hour's worth of video content for my MitMaster site, I will take some of that content, chop it up into smaller bits and put it on my YouTube channel. And I'll take other bits of the same content, chop it up and put it on my Facebook page. Then I'll take some other bits and chop it up and put it on another platform like Reddit or something like that. So I take the content and I chop it up and I use it in different places. But then I can also take the whole main body of the content and transform it into another course. So what I did for my students is I created a kickboxing syllabus, which I sold to my students originally. But then I just took exactly the same footage and turned it into an intro to kickboxing course, which I could then sell to other people around the world. So it wasn't based on my school particularly. It's more generic intro to kickboxing. So it's taking content, reusing it, rejigging it, re-editing it, and just using it again and again and again in different places so that you get out there. Because part of being running a successful online business is being known. In fact, it's the main thing. If you're not known, you can't make sales. So people spend a lot of time worrying about the course platform. They worry about how the lighting is. They worry about the editing. They're not happy with this and that. But the main thing is you have to be known to your audience, which requires you to create an obscene amount of content and be out there all the time, engaging and working and hustling and building relationships. So it's not quite as passive as people think. You don't just sit back there and let the money roll in. That happens when you're well enough known in your audience and your industry that people just go, who do I know who does pads? All right, Matt does pads, so they just go to me straight away. But that takes 2-3 years of just banging and putting content out and pushing hard and hustling. Like Gary Vee says, he used to spend 6 to 8 hours a day answering Twitter messages about wine back in the day for like 2 or 3 years. He's up at high level. But when I was working hard on that, I would get home from the gym at 10 p.m. each night and then work from 10 p.m. until 1 or 2 in the morning on my online business. I did that for 3 years, like every night. I didn't watch any TV. I didn't do anything else. I just worked at the online business, work, and it pays off. So
yeah, no, that's a very long day, definitely. But you've got
a long day, yeah. It was tiring, but I could see the potential in the business, and I could see, I could also see where I was going if I didn't give myself a break and stop teaching all the time. Because although I love teaching and I'm a martial artist, I like to teach. I think you can overdo it, like anything. You can overdo it. So I was teaching too many classes. I was teaching too many privates. I was coaching too many fighters. I was not looking after myself well enough. Not getting enough rest. My nutrition wasn't on. I was not managing my stress properly, and all these things contributed to me sort of burning out with the whole physically teaching thing. So it was, I could see the potential in it, so I just focused on it, and it grew from there.
So what would you say to, I've had someone say this to me, so that's why I'm asking you this question. What would you say to someone that's thinks that not many people are out there to buy the stuff? Like,
what do you mean?
No demand in the sense for what you do, kind of thing. Like
martial arts in general, or
yeah, so selling them, say they did a course, martial arts, and then they don't believe that it's going to get that many sales. There's not demand online.
Well, I'll give them a slap, and then I'll show them my monthly income from online sales. Now, I get what you mean, because people think, well, I can just go to YouTube to watch stuff. But what you got to understand is, if you go to YouTube and watch a video on kickboxing, it's over in 3 minutes. And then you got to watch another video by a different instructor who has a different teaching style, who has a different priority. So then you get like mixed messages. Then you go watch another video. It's inconsistent. It's not the same, What people are looking for is like a package solution to their problem. So if I present them with a package solution to their problem, and I'm likable and trustworthy, and they know of me and they've seen enough content out there, they will buy. And I think what people need to understand is people are not necessarily buying the techniques. They're buying your take on the techniques, your experience, your decades of training, your ideas, your principles, your journey, what you've learned, what you've struggled with, what you've overcome. That's what people are essentially buying, your presentation style. Because some people don't like the way I present, and some people love the way I present. So you get to own your own little niche, your own little sort of area that is just yours. It's just your market, which is great, because it means no one else can jump into that market and steal your customers, because they just love you and how you teach. So you just got to go out and find the right market for you.
No, definitely. Very, very good point. No, it's just I had that question. That's why I thought it'd be a good one to ask, just because it is very true. People buy you and your own style and your own thing. So you need, like when you said, you create that audience, you're building your own little world where people know, trust you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And they're loyal as well. So once what you have to have enough content out there. If you have one video that's 20 minutes on YouTube and that's it, it's not enough content. This is to do with our DNA as cave people, etc. In the fact that we need to, they say, spend at least 7 hours with another person for them to be considered a friend. So they obviously can't physically spend 7 hours with me, but if they see me on Facebook and they see me on YouTube and they see me on Instagram and they see me on Reddit and they see an ad of mine and they see a blog post of me and all these different, it all adds up. And before they know it, I'm in the friend box for them,
Right.
then they're more likely to consume my content, and they're also then much more likely to buy because they've just seen me around so much. So you have to put in the content, you have to create the content and distribute the content, which can be automated, obviously with Facebook ads, etc., and groups. But just creating the content is what people struggle with, I think.
Yeah, that leads me on nicely to next question. Is like, what do you think people struggle with? But also, from there, can you just like kind of talk about mistakes that you probably made that people probably will go, oh, it kind of gives them a few little tips, I suppose, in that way. What would you say? Mistake, like things to avoid, possibly. That's probably to rephrase it.
Yeah, mistakes. Trying to do everything yourself. That was a mistake I did, and that's why it took me so long to build the business up. If I'd had a guide who knew what to do and had just gone do this, do this, do this, do this, I would have been made more money much more quickly. But yeah, trying to figure out. I mean, there's so much to do in internet marketing, isn't there? Copy, landing pages, optimization, SEO, SMO. It's too much really for just a single person who's got a normal job and a family to kind of do all at once. It takes a long time. So I would definitely get help if you can, a specialist, if you need help with Facebook, if you need help with online courses, if you need help with the various bits and pieces. Consistency of content. I would say you've got to be putting out content. Gary Vee says you need to be putting out 100 pieces of content a day. I'm currently he says 100. I'm currently doing 10, and I noticed a massive increase in the number of inquiries and sales I made when I was moved from 1 piece of content a day to 10 pieces of content a day. Because if you think about the stream and social media, it's so busy and so full. So you need to be popping up repeatedly to get that, time in people's heads so that they go, oh, right, yeah, it's him again. I'll check his stuff out. Oh, right, yeah, it's quite good. So that requires doing a lot of social media posting, which you can automate. So it's not all like everyone's going, oh, I don't want to do 10 posts a day. I totally get that, but you can automate a lot of it using various tools. Other mistakes I've made, there's probably loads. I can't think off the top of my head, but consistency of content is probably being perfectionist. Too many people are perfectionists in this world. Martial artists are notorious for being perfectionists. We just want things exactly how we want them. And that's really good for learning martial arts and really bad for an online business because it stops you actually finishing and putting stuff out there. You're like, I'm not quite happy with that angle. I'm not quite happy with the lighting. I'm not quite happy with that move. Or we'll start again. I'm not quite. So 80% is good enough. So if it's 80% correct and, almost there, put it out there, because you can always refilm it and then do it again afterwards. And the other thing is people are really scared of trolls. Martial artists are a sensitive bunch of people who really take criticism badly. I mean, I don't. I've got really thick skin. It just goes. But a lot of instructors, they put something out there and someone says, you should turn your foot more on that kick. And that's it. They're like, they stop. That's it. They've stopped because of that. And I'm like, why are you listening to someone you've never met on the internet? So I only take criticism from people who are senior to me, in terms of senior to me in martial arts or senior to me in internet marketing and stuff. If they're not senior to me, I don't listen to them. No. And funnily enough, people who are senior to you never put you down. They always lift you up and try and help you.
True.
So ignore the trolls. Don't worry about what the trolls are saying. Just put your stuff out there. But for some reason, like, I don't know why they get so precious about it, martial artists, but they're like, someone can say something and they get really angry. They have a bit of a rant, and then they delete and then they're not going to put anything online. And it's such a shame because so many martial arts instructors have so much to give in terms of, sharing their 20, 30, 40 years worth of training, but they're going to let one troll, hide that and keep that contained. It's madness.
There's a lot of trolls though, definitely, but yeah, it's true. But yeah, you're very right. You got to be a bit thick-skinned really with this. It's just don't let it affect you. Just do your own stuff and be consistent, as you say. So
yeah, I mean, I actually like trolls now. They make me laugh. I just find them hilarious. Some of the things that people have said about my videos. Some guy took the time to email me this big long email, which basically said, I don't like what you're doing, so stop. He emailed me. I'm like, you have too much time if you were going to write an email to me to tell me to stop. So I just, yeah.
That's a lot of steps for someone to take. Literally, go there, open your email.
Yeah, like, get a life, dude. So yeah, you've got to not let the trolls defeat you. Minimum viable product is another thing. The big mistake that instructors make is they create a massive course. They're like, right, I'm going to share my 20 years of knowledge on this particular subject in one course. Therefore, it takes them 6 to 9 months to film, edit, upload. It's a lot of invested energy and time. Then when they launch it, they're like, they don't make the sales they expected because it's like their pet project, it's their passion. So then they get sad. You want to create the smallest product you can create, not the biggest product you can create. Start with the smallest, test it, sell it, make sales, then go, all right, what's the next size product? What's the next size product? And then you start to create a value ladder of content.
Is that in the same thing? Like, say, for example, so you do a small product and then you're still adding more to the same course. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would do like a beginner's intro to kickboxing syllabus, for example. And then once that's selling and doing well, I would do then the intermediate, the advanced, the past black belt, the sparring system that goes with it, the equipment drills that go with it, the class variations. So you build it up. Hello, are you still there?
My internet went a bit weird, sorry. But hopefully, yeah. So just to recap what you just said, basically is just have a small product and then build on top of it kind of thing. So pretty much.
Yeah. You see, if you do a small product, you can have that done in basically a sort of weekend and have it out there within a week. And you can just test the market and see what sales you make. But you've got to be comfortable with feedback, as in you put stuff out there. I think the issue is we love martial arts so much that when we put something out there, it feels like we're putting a part of ourselves out there for criticism, which scares a lot of instructors. Whereas I just see it as I'm not defined by just being a martial artist. It's part of what I do. It's a very big part of what I do. I've spent my whole adult life doing it. But I can easily put up a little product on the internet that, is 45 minutes worth of video. And if I don't make hundreds of sales, it's not a problem because I understand maybe my targeting was off or maybe my message was off. There's a lot of moving parts in internet marketing. So I think what a lot of instructors find is if they don't make loads of sales immediately, they're like, well, that's it, doesn't work, or no one likes my stuff, or they don't appreciate me. All this kind of mindset. It's all about mindset in the end, isn't it? It's all about the mindset to overcome hurdles, continue moving forward, learn what you need to learn, get help when you need it, stay positive, set goals, achieve goals, set new goals. Like the mindset sort of stuff is what people struggle with.
Definitely. No, that's probably the biggest one. It's with anything, with all so much stuff we're doing. But yeah, mindset is huge. Like if your product doesn't work, doesn't mean that it's just probably that product wasn't right for that market. You just need to maybe change it. Really good point though. But would you say there's certain price points on these products that work well?
Yeah, so my MVPs I generally put out at under £30. So you know why the tap thing on card readers is £30 and under? It's because they've done the research to know that that's a kind of disposable amount of money that people will just go, yeah, okay, 30 quid's all right. They will accept that. Something you can just go, if it was like 70 quid or 80 quid, people would think a bit more before tapping. So I find that under £30 is a throwaway amount of money that people are willing to punt on something to try something new. Once you go over £30, people start to and ah. You have to be more well-known, more well-respected, and more liked to start charging more. So for your MVP, just to get yourself out in the market, start making a bit of money, start generating customers, under £30 is a great price. And then people go to me, what? Well, I've trained 25 years. Why would I give it away for under £30? I'm like, you're not giving away the whole thing. You're giving away a little sliver of what you know, less than 1% of what you know, but you just put it out there and test the market. So they're like, no way, I'm going to put it on for £200. I'm like, okay, you do that, but you're not going to make sales because no one knows who you are if you haven't done the work of building an audience first.
Very true. That's so true. I mean, like, would you say, Yeah, it's just like good for me to know this as well. So would you say like an hour length video is too long for an MVP, or would you say like something that's chopped up to like 5-6 videos, or would you say something less than that?
Anything under an hour. Generally, I like to do about 45 minutes for an MVP. So it's like bite size. Someone can sit down and consume it in one go. And the whole thing with the MVP is it's a test of your product, but it's also a teaser for them to get into the next product. So this is the whole value ladder thing that, internet marketers go on, or a funnel, however you want to do it. But it's a low price, low barrier, low time consuming offer that someone will just consume quickly and go, that was awesome. I want to get the next one. What's the next one? Oh, okay. It's the slightly more expensive package. They get that. Wow, love that. What's next? Certification. Well, online training program. Right, get that. What's next? Membership site. So it's a continual upgrade of content that people travel through predictably. And you can't do that unless you have some low price, low risk, low barrier options to start with.
Definitely. They need to try you out first, don't they? That's the thing. It's with
yeah, and if you look at the biggest companies in the world, Amazon allows you to try Prime for free for like 7 days or something. So they understand that once you get in there, and Amazon's $1 trillion company, once you get in there, you go, this is awesome. I'm going to sign up to Prime. So they know if companies are like that, are giving away, valuable stuff for free to try it out. Disney's just launched its new online platform. You can get a trial on that. So they understand that free, is good. But I would also say you attract a slightly different client if you put a low price offer on your course. So it doesn't have to be £30. It could be £20, could be £10, could be £9, could be £1. Doesn't matter. But you attract a different type of person who's willing to get their card out to buy your course. They tend to be better qualified prospects if they're investing money. There's a lot of people who just like to freeload and just, learn a lot of stuff off YouTube or Facebook. If you make them pay for your low price offering, you get a better quality client.
Definitely. I recommend that a lot. So it's just, I think best way probably, since there's a lot of martial arts people in this group, I think they all have experienced this when they tried trial offers in their clubs and stuff compared to paid. And they always say paid is better person, but it's the same thing online. People I think take it. You're just doing everything that you normally do, but you just do it online. So.
Yeah, and that's the key. Don't see it as something majorly different. Don't freak out about it. Just you teach classes every week. Just put a phone there on a tripod and teach a class to a phone, and then upload it to Facebook to generate interest in your content. Upload it to YouTube to start building your YouTube channel. Put it out there in different places and get feedback and start building the audience that's interested in what you create. It's no different. It's the same, but they get freaked out by it, sadly.
So I know you kind of already covered it, but like common mistakes you kind of have already gone over. It's consistency and stuff. When you talked about doing content regularly, would you say it's content in the sense of just picture posts, 10 picture posts a day, or would you say it's like something else? Or how would you, if someone's thinking like, what, okay, I've got to do content, but what do you mean by content? Like, how would you describe that?
You have to go with your strengths, but I would do a mix of content. So if you're awful on video, like I was when I started, I wouldn't do maybe too many videos. I do more sort of written text posts / pictures combined with a few videos or edited videos or promos. But the only way to get good at video is to keep doing it. And 2 or 3 months down the line, you're just nailing it first time. It happens naturally. So I would say a mix of content. So pictures, edited pictures, as in quote pictures and things like that with text over the top of pictures. Lots of video if you're comfortable doing that. Written posts as well, because it just creates a nice blend of stuff. Some people like to read. I'm a reader. Some people like to watch video. We all like to watch video. Some people like a really cool picture that kind of captures attention. Some people love the quote thing. So just blend it, mix it, see what naturally comes to you. But the good thing about what I do is I film my hours worth of video for a product, and then I'll take 30% of that video and that'll move towards my social media. So I'll splinter off 30% and then chop it up, and then it will go different places. I never put it all in the same place because I don't want people to absorb the whole 30% in one go. I want them to have to go to different places and click things and like things and travel, so that you're getting lots of hits in different places on the internet. So that's quite easy. You're filming the content anyway. Take 30% of what you film and just distribute it for free to generate interest in your product.
Nice. I mean, are you using any specific tools to do that yourself? Are you getting someone else to do it? How are you approached like splitting stuff up? Because I'm sure someone probably be thinking that as well. So
yeah, I like to do it myself because I like video editing and I like tinkering. So I personally do it myself. But yeah, you could employ someone to split your videos up, add an outro and an intro, add your logo, watermark your logo, and then off you go. You could get one of your staff members to do that for you. You could employ someone on Fiverr to do it for you, and they do the same thing, for $5 or thereabouts, and then give you the videos back, and then you can distribute them. So all depends on your amount of free time you've got. But I like to use dead time a lot. So anytime I'm like waiting in a dentist or something, I'll be doing editing sort of stuff. Anytime I'm like traveling by public transport, I'll be editing videos and doing social media. Anytime I'm on the loo, I'm editing and doing social media.
I don't think everyone knows that one.
Like if the missus is in bed asleep and I'm in bed but I'm not asleep, I'll be editing videos. So you got to use these times where you typically wouldn't be doing anything. Like if I'm cooking some food, I'm just waiting for something to cook. Do a quick post, do a quick edit, just create a bit of content. It literally nowadays takes seconds to create a piece of content. But yeah, you could conceivably pay someone to do it. I don't have another job now, so I've got lots of time. The main thing with this type of online business is it gives you masses of time, because all the hard work of teaching and marketing and getting out there is all taken care of by the software. So, you're not at the gym 5-6 hours a night. You're at home and you're editing a few videos for an hour and then you're done.
So you'd say you probably work an hour a day really on your business, would you say, at the moment?
I work less now. You've helped me with my Facebook ads because that's taken care of a massive. What I used to do is do a lot of manual Facebook work, community work, outreach, going into things, posting, engaging. But I've dropped that down because your Facebook tactics help me so much that now I don't need to. I can put money on an ad, money comes back in. I'm getting like 8 or 9% return on ad spend. 8 or 9 times on all of my ads, so it's like all of them. So I just keep pouring money in, and more money comes out the other side. So now I do less. I could literally run my business just by monitoring my Facebook ads every day, which will take me 10 minutes a day.
Wow, that's awesome. It's just, I mean, like for anyone listening, ROAS basically means return on ad spend. So it's just, yeah, that's brilliant. So basically, Matt's getting 8 times return on his spend. So that's the beauty of this online world. You get once you get like the way you get money coming in, and you can spend more time with your family and stuff, which is what it's life. So, are there any like specific strategies that you're thinking of doing, or you've done that maybe someone can probably think? Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Strategies in terms of what, marketing or content creation, or what would you like?
Because you work with hundreds of people, block for them. Is it just the content? Would you say that be stuck, or is it just all of it? It's like, or is it just one thing?
It's fear. It's fear of, yeah, it's fear. It's fear of technology. It's fear of trolls. It's fear of not knowing what they're doing.
No, that is true. It's once they get past the fear, what does life look like at the end of the rainbow? How would you describe it? Really, like what kind of is doing? But like, what is possible, so someone can literally look at this and go, I want people watching this feel more inspired and actually online. Like obviously you've done it, so what can you say to them, really, that will help make them realize it's a great time basically to do it?
Well, it's never been easier to set up this type of business. The platforms, the software, everything is set up. You know, it's very, if you know what you're doing, it's very hard to fail at this, because it's all based on you creating products based on your own life experience, your own teaching experience. So it all has tremendous value. But life is, it's a lot simpler than running a martial arts school. Running a physical business, as everyone knows who's running a business in this current climate, is really, really stressful, and it's a limited business. It's limited by your geography. Like you know, if you live in a small town, that's your complete business. Like that's it. It can't get any bigger than your town. And if you live in a big town, then you're going to have loads of competition around you. So it's limited by your competition. Whereas an online business is just so scalable. You know, you can have one customer. So I can have one customer, but it doesn't cost me any effort, stress, time, or money to have 100 customers, or 1,000 customers, or 10,000 customers, or 100,000 customers. It doesn't cost me any extra energy. That's the main thing. If I had to teach 100,000 people physically, it would kill me, right? But with the online, it's just the technology takes care of all the scaling. So it's life is much simpler. You know, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I've made all the money I need to make for that day while I've been asleep, which sounds really, really, you know, cheesy internet marketing.
That's the thing, yeah.
Ridiculousness. But sometimes I'll wake up and I've made £1,000 when I've been asleep, and I'm like, what is this about? This is like crazy. So that's really exciting, to make money when you sleep, to make money when you're on holiday, to make money when you're ill, to make money when your business is shut down because of some random virus that's trying to do us all in. That's, you know, I think more people are understanding now that, oh, actually, you know, it might be worth me considering this online thing, because we've never been in a situation like this, have we? Where we had to shut down a whole country, a whole global
world, in a way.
Yeah. You know, like I think there's 2 billion people who are on lockdown in the world right now. Like, and my sales of my online courses have gone up.
Yeah.
Obviously, because people are stuck indoors and they're bored. They're like, what can I get? So it's just so weird. But it's like freedom. It's like a freedom to know that, you know, if I can make money off stuff I've done in the past rather than having to continue to go and teach every day. If I created enough content, I can then just find more people in the world who are interested in that content. So right now, my database of customers is about 10,000 customers, but I know there's easily 1 million people who'd be interested in what I've got to learn, you know. So I just need to find them, and I know if I find them, I'll sell loads of stuff to them. So then it's just like, how do you find the next 10,000, the next 50,000, the next 100,000, and grow your business like that? So yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. It's a lot less stressful than running a school. You don't have to deal with any of the headaches of staff problems, parents moaning at you, you know, floods, thievery, dramas, fighters having tantrums, students arguing, kids peeing themselves on the mat. Yeah, just the usual stuff that goes with running a martial arts school. That is like, that does your head in. It's just an easier life.
Definitely. And there's no rent to pay and stuff like that, really. So, you know, there's a lot of perks in that way as well.
I mean, the only downside of this type of lifestyle is taxes. So you make so much profit because, like you say, there's no expenses. Like my monthly expenses for the platforms that I use is under £100 a month. And then obviously I've got my Facebook ad spend and various other platforms. Well, you know, easily my business costs me £300-400 a month to run, but it's bringing in 10-15 grand a month.
Yeah. So
it's massive profits, but that means massive tax bills. So that's not great when the tax bill arrives and you're like, what? But there you go. You just got a budget, put money away, pay it in advance, and just suck it up.
Yeah, it's not the best problem. I mean, it's not the worst problem to have, I suppose. But it's
No.
Ideally you'd rather be paying more tax than not, I think, in a way, because it means that you're doing well. But it would be great if we didn't have that much tax, definitely. So, okay, so that's awesome. I mean, like, we're not far off from finishing now, but like, it's such an awesome, like, opportunity now. Like, one thing I think is good to elaborate on. So many people are doing Zoom calls and stuff like that, and I know you've helped massively with people with realizing how to use Zoom and that along them lines. And what would you say to them? Because this is one thing I was thinking is they're doing so much on Zoom already. Should they be recording the stuff? How should, like, what you talked about, repurpose and things? Is there anything that you can give, like, tip-wise?
They can record their Zooms, but obviously if there's other people in the Zoom, you won't be able to record it and or use it for anything unless they've given their express written consent. So I wouldn't, record the other people in the video if you're doing like a gallery sort of thing. But if it's just you doing it, yeah, you can record. I think, though, the issue with Zoom is they've dropped the quality of their video recording to deal with the situation now.
Yeah.
So when it's recorded, it's slightly lower quality, so it's not HD anymore. So I'm not sure you'll be able to really use it after the event because of the picture quality. However, what you could do is, while you've got one camera doing Zoom, you could just have another phone or camera recording you in HD, and then just chop that up and use that for marketing later. But basically, you've got to turn into a content creation machine. So you've got to, when you go back to teaching in your schools, film your classes, film your seminars, film your workshops that you do, film any private lessons that you do, because all of this content you can use at a later date. Like, I did a sparring seminar at my school, which I filmed. I then repurposed it, added some more content, built it out a little bit, added manuals, and then sold it to my email list for MITmaster. And that started to build up. And from one seminar, I made over £12,000 from just doing a 3-hour seminar that I then just repurposed and turned into an online product to sell around the world. So that's the power of, repurposing content and filming everything you do, because it all has value, especially things like private lessons when you're giving nuggets, especially things like seminars when you're up and you're performing. If you look at people like Marcelo Garcia, he's a BJJ coach in New York. He's one of the first guys to do filming his classes. So he'll be teaching a class, so he's getting paid by his students there, but he's also filming his classes to be streamed live online and also recorded online. So people would pay a monthly fee to access his classes when they're on the other side of the world. So he's getting paid twice. Getting paid by students, and he's getting paid by all these people. And he's got like 10, 20,000 people on his membership site. So he's making way more money from his membership site than he will be from his school. But he's not having to create extra content, is he? He's just doing what he does. He's just teaching and repurposing the teaching for an online platform. Genius guy.
Wow, that's such a clever idea. That's so good.
Yeah, it's very smart.
Using your time so much better. If you're doing something, then just definitely. I mean, to be honest, Matt, you've got so many nuggets, so many bombs on there, knowledge bombs, as people call it. It's awesome. I mean, just to round it off anyway, what would you say is the top 3 tips? Would you say? I know you kind of already mentioned it, but we've had a few people join in late. But top 3 tips now, would you say? And some nice little gift for everyone.
Top 3 tips, I'd say get over your fear and just do it. Don't expect it to be perfect. Just get it out there and do it. And build your audience by sharing content and engaging with people, and start doing that. And then everything else can come off the back of that. But if you let go of the fear that you're going to be judged, or the fear that it's not going to be good enough, or the fear that someone's going to say something mean, or the fear that you'll never figure out the technology. If you just plug at something long enough, which is what martial arts is about, it's about discipline, perseverance. If you just do the technology and just do it, it'll all come together. I was awful at technology when I started this 6 years ago, but I just you just pick it up and you just get better, and then before you know it, you're an expert, and you're like, whoa, that's cool. So perseverance, get over the fear, and be consistent out there. Create a lot of content, be consistent.
That's awesome. To be honest, they're tips I need to be even doing more of as well. So thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate that. And this group's found this interview and really, really useful. Make sure you said, it's, that, as you mentioned earlier, it's not about just information. Little task and you'll get it done for sure. Matt's been very, very kind and 3 strategy sessions to everyone who's on here live and who'll be watching this. 15-minute strategy sessions with, and all you need to do, I think that work, hashtag online, and I'll take it from there. But how does that sound? Has it found this? Use comments, hashtag to say what you thought about the interview, and hopefully you found that really, really useful. So, but yeah, no, Matt, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, dude. Pleasure. Really nice talking to you.
Likewise. So, guys, Matt, just stick around for a minute. But everyone else, have a great weekend, and get online. Definitely get them contents doing, and just get more time for yourself back. You got loads of time now to implement these strategies, so make sure you do it. Don't, because you'll kick yourself later if you get back into the real world again. Then you'll be like, oh, why didn't I use this time? So record that content. Just record it and use it later if you want. If you need to do that, but use time. So great, guys. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Cheers, guys.